Hello gamers, and of course the lovebirds. Happy Valentine's Day! It is February, and you know what that means? Co-op games! Co-op games are absolutely my favorite because a better way to play video games by yourself is to play it with someone you care about, and that could be either a friend, a sibling, a partner, anyone, even a cat. If you can get your cat to push buttons on a remote, do it. Anyways, welcome back to my channel, where today we're going to be discussing the best games you can play with your partner or friend during Valentine's Day with a whole bunch of co-op games. There's a whole bunch that I've played and that I want to play that I'm going to be listing today, so let me know if you find one that you like. This is a video for those that honestly, sometimes we don't have to go outside to enjoy each other's company, because who needs to go outside in the world with people and touch grass and ew, where we could just stay indoors and honestly get cozy with snacks and just hang out. Don't even have to get dressed, could wear sweatpants, sweatshirts, whatever, messy hair. Honestly, sometimes that sounds like a good time. So I have a bunch of co-op games that we're going to be talking about. I'll also keep the timestamps down below, so if you have a specific game in mind or if you've already played a specific game, you can go ahead and skip that. So grab your controllers, snuggle up, and let's dive in. Also, don't forget your snacks. Snacks are very important. I'm bringing chips. All right, moving in. I am starting with a classic game that I actually have played with my boyfriend, and it is called It Takes Two. I really enjoyed this game. It was definitely a longer version game. It took quite a while. I don't know if that's because we're just a little special or because it's a longer game, but it was really fun. It was really emotional, really funny. It had really good mini games throughout the game, which I really enjoyed. It was always fun making a competition between the two of us to see who's better at what. So It Takes Two is a game that you can play either local or online co-op, and the best part is only one person needs to own the game. One person would download the game and then the other person would download the Friends Pass, and then that way you guys can both play the game online if you're long distance without needing to purchase two, which one thing, honestly, co-op games should do that a lot more often. There's a lot of co-op games that I have in this list where you're actually required to own both copies, and I kind of think that's annoying because local makes sense. You only need one because it's a split screen, but like, I don't know, sometimes it's good to just need to purchase it for like one person and then the other person gets a freebie, you know? So in this game, you play as the clashing couple Cody and May, two humans turned into dolls by a magical spell. Trapped in a fantastical world, they're reluctantly challenged with saving their fractured relationship by the love guru, Dr. Hakim. Now this game was really funny because we were like the character choices in this game. Like, obviously I loved the dolls they turned into. The artwork is cute, but the love doctor being a book, it was just a very funny character that not a lot of games have. It's always usually that serious role, so this one was really fun to have. I would say this game really had its lovely moments and chaotic moments where you might be ripping each other's hair off or cuddling a little extra, so I hope you guys, if you do play this game, enjoy. The next game on my list is actually another favorite of mine. I have not played Unravel 2 with a person because you are able to play this by yourself. I played Unravel the first game, which I was obsessed. This game is Unravel 2. So this game can be shared on screen. It's not a split. It's kind of one of those games where, depending on where you go, stretches out the camera. So you guys kind of have to stay together in this game, but you could play it local on one monitor or online via Steam Remote Play, I believe. And if you don't have Steam Remote Play and you're playing it on a different console, you both do need to own the game. But this game is a really fun, cozy puzzle game. I just like the whole process of unraveling your memories through very fun gameplay moments, and honestly, the art, of course. The art is really pretty. I like the way they have the character ropes entangled with each other and crisscross, and you have to try to figure out a way not only to solve the puzzles, but to try not to tangle into each other. Playing two yarn characters jumping around, it's gonna be a challenge. I know I always end up knotting things, so this one seems really fun. So Unravel 2 is about when you cut ties to the past, new bonds form. Build relationships with other Yarnies as you foster the friendship and support as you journey this world together. The game's main storyline is set on an island, and it includes additional, more difficult, challenging levels the further you go. So like I said, I've only played the first one. It's just a really fun, cozy game, and there's not a lot going on, so it's much more relaxed. So this one you could definitely get cozy and snuggle up and play just honestly on your couch, just laying down and enjoying the show. Another fan favorite is Portal 2. This is actually a game I have not played yet, but I did recently own in the Steam winter sale. So This one is a perpetual testing initiative. So I've heard this game is either hit or miss with your brain and if you can get it quickly or get it long, because it involves using 2 players with 2 guns that creates 2 portals where you go in one portal, out the other, and you have to try to manage your way to go across mazes and puzzles and stuff like that. So if you have good concept of 3-dimensional areas and where you need to go is where you're gonna go, it'll be a breeze. If you don't, you might have some more technical difficulties, which would be fun. It'd be a very fun conversation starter. So Portal 2 is also another sequel to the first Portal, which is a solo-based game. It's a fun take on a co-op as you deal with puzzles together with your bestie. So this game you can also play via split screen or via Steam remote play. I gotta get used to that. Like, I did not know that existed until looking into this more. Via Steam remote play, and if not, you do, both parties need to own the game if you're long distance and you can't play it in that manner. But it's a pretty interesting game. Honestly, I feel like me playing this game, I would be either really dumb and can't figure out the easiest things, or really smart and get them. I'm kind of that way when it comes to puzzle games. Like, the easier the puzzle, the stupider I feel. But the more intricate puzzles, the easier I am. I don't understand it, but yeah, so this seems really fun to play with your partner or even just a friend, and you guys can get angry or laugh about it together. But I'm very curious how this game would be because I do have it, so I'd like to play it. My 4th game is called Bread and Fred, and honestly, this game looks really cute. I've seen a couple people play it, and you're basically tied together trying to go through this puzzle without dying. So imagine being tied to your partner and trying to take one step forward and falling off a cliff. But this game looks really cute. There's 2 little penguins. You're traveling through the world trying to solve this puzzle. And it seems really cute. It could also create a lot of tension as you guys are arguing, bickering. Who's gonna go first? Who's gonna go last? Who's gonna jump when I jump? Jump at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go! And then one person forgets to jump. Play at your own risk, because it might get pretty saucy. This game is also a game where you could play where you're sharing the screen or Steam via remote play. I'm not sure if you could play online with both people owning the copy. I tried looking it up and couldn't find anything about it. So if you have played it online co-op, please let me know down in the comments for anyone else interested to play. But so everywhere I've looked, it's either online, it's either local or via Steam. So for Bread and Fred, this game is about grabbing your best bud for help in this new challenge to help 2 adorable penguins, Bread and Fred, reach the top of a snowy summit. Time your jumps, cling to walls, swing across gaps to see how far you can make it before you tumble all the way back down the mountain. This game honestly reminds me of a cuter version of Pico Park, but with just 2 people and you're tied together. So have fun. The next game on my list is a little bit more serious. So if you're a fan of the cutesy games, but you're also really fan of the rich stories or the very challenging action gameplay, this one might be for you guys. So this game is called A Way Out. It is a little bit on the older side. It came out in 2018, which is kind of wild. I feel like it came out just a couple of years ago. But this is a very more serious tone and only requires 1 copy to play it, locally or online, which is really nice. So A Way Out is exclusively co-op, so you cannot play by yourself. It has to be 2 people, where you play the role of one of 2 prisoners making their daring escape from prison. So if you ever want to figure out if you can break out of prison, this game might be for you. It's very challenging. It's a good way to kind of communicate with your partner on trying to be like, listen, man, this is what I need to do to escape prison. Are you in or are you out? Are you a wimp? Are you a chicken? These are the answers you need to figure out together. So during this game, each player controls one of the main characters, Leo and Vincent, in a reluctant alliance to break out of prison and gain their freedom. So you could choose your character, Leo or Vincent, and that will kind of decide on which obstacle you're gonna start with. And together they're gonna work and break free of prison. Seems like a very fun time. It honestly sounds like a movie that you're just kind of controlling. So if you like more of the story-based games with the nice storyline like that progresses like a movie, this might be the game for you. It is also a little bit more action-y, so it's not that cozy as the other games we listed. Okay, so now this game has actually been on my wish list for a very long time. Actually, I don't even think I own it. No, I don't own it. It's still on my wish list, but actually, as of right now, until February 16th, it is on sale for $9.99, 60% off. Okay, so after this video, I might own it. But this game is actually a game that I've been wanting to buy because it's really mainly to play as a co-op. So you basically play as this really cute couple. You give up everything wanting to escape this planet and live together. This is a very cutesy, cozy game with slight action in the game. This game is also local co-op or online via Steam Remote Play only. Any other platform is only local. So this one does require to be in person or via Steam. So there is that one little setback that it kind of like forces you to play in person. But I think for the creators of this game, they wanted it to kind of force you guys to play sitting next to each other because of the storyline. I understand where they're coming from, but it kind of hurts us long distance people, you know? Where we like, what other games are we gonna play? Actually, I'm listing a few other games we could play, so there is that. It's about two lovers gliding through a mysterious landscape, exploring a fragmented world, and fighting against what's trying to tear them apart in this adventure about love, rebellion, and freedom. The artwork in this game looks really incredible. I like the scenery, and the characters are cute. But in this game, you're fighting against those trying to tear you apart. So it's just, you know, proving that you love each other, you want to be together forever, and nothing can tear you apart. So I've heard this gets very, very emotional the further you play it. I do want to let you know this game is a little bit more on the rated side. It's matured 17 plus because of the sexual content, nudity, use of drugs and alcohol, and violence. So please be on the lookout for that. But yeah, it's like a cute romancy game. Okay, now this game is one of my favorites. I've played this the second it came out. I play every level that comes out, and honestly, this game is good to play with a partner or even a friend. It is called Humans Fall Flat. If you have not played this game, you need it in your library right now. It is the funniest game ever. You're basically this noodle trying to maneuver your way through this puzzle, grabbing things, grabbing people. It is a hot mess when you play it, and that's the point. So if you think you're bad at the game, duh, everyone is. So Humans Fall Flat, both people need to own, or you could play local split screen. And online is actually really fun because you can actually have up to 8 players online. So if you want to play with a whole bunch of friends and have a friend's Valentine's Day, boom, 8 friends maximum, there you go, Humans Fall Flat. You do all need to own the copy online, but it's really fun and you could play it solo and with people, so I think it's like a win-win situation there. So Humans Fall Flat is a hilarious, lighthearted platformer set in floating dreamscapes that can be played in all the realms of the world. So there's a whole bunch of new levels, and each time they update the game, it's actually a free update. So I thought I played the entire game, and then one year I found out they added a Halloween level, and there's no extra charge, no extra price DLC, free. So honestly, it's a really good game to own. But yeah, and like I feel like sometimes when you're playing this game, the soundtrack gets so emotional where I feel like something is about to happen, like my life is gonna be falling apart or something drastically is gonna change, and it's just because I climbed a mountain. So it's really fun. I do quite enjoy this game, and honestly, every year I will definitely bring this game back, and it will always have us ending up in laughter. If you like Humans Fall Flat though, you might also like this game. It's kind of the same concept in the character with being like all jello, but it involves, instead of puzzles, moving out. So picture you being a blob, taking furniture from one place to another with a whole bunch of obstacles in between. So this game can also be locally shared or online via Steam Remote Play, but if you are long distance and you're not playing on Steam, all of their platforms do require you both to own a copy. This game is really hilarious. I've played this one as well with a friend, and we were just ending up laughing every single time. So Moving Out is a ridiculous physics-based moving simulator that brings new meaning to couch co-op. Are you ready for your exciting career in furniture? As newly certified furniture arrangement and relocation technician, you'll take on moving jobs all across the busy town of Packmore. So I like that in between you can like drive around to your town depending on which house you're going to, which is really fun. My favorite thing during this game is when there's 2 people or more trying to lift the furniture and take it out, because sometimes it's too heavy for one person to carry, and then you're just like pulling back and forth. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? And then you fall down a hole somehow because there was a pond in the middle of the house. But honestly, this game is really funny. If you want to laugh and spit your juice out all over the place, this is definitely a game for you. Now, if you like those 2 games, but you also like a little zest in your conversations and you want to bicker and argue about a lot of things, which might test your relationship to a whole new level, this game is for you. The game Overcooked. If you have not played it, let me say this lightly, it can end relationships. Whether it's friendships, relationships, even relationships with your parents, this game can, and I do mean this literally, end it. This game causes so much stress, so much panic, so much chaos It's honestly a really fun game and everyone should try it in their life because why not test ya? So this game can be local split screen or I think shared screen, just one screen. So it is local shared or online, but each person does need a copy. I don't believe you could play this via Steam. I looked it up and they seem very aggressive. No, everyone needs to own a copy, but if you can, boom, kudos to you. But if you can't, 2 people will need to own it. This game is honestly better playing in person anyways because you can't really embody the chaos over the phone. But Overcooked is a chaotic couch co-op cooking game for 1 to 4 players. And you work as a team with your fellow chefs while you're preparing, cooking, serving up a variety of tasty foods before the customers storm out in a huff and puff and angry because you did not get their order done in time. And by in time, I mean like a minute. If you're like a minute late, they freak out and then get stressed. This game is really funny because not only are you cooking, you're also doing a whole bunch of puzzles. You're bouncing back and forth from the rooms because the room shifts. And like if you get stuck, your food is destroyed. It's very high stressful situation. If you want to be a chef, play this game because if you could play this game, then you could probably be a chef because being a chef is probably just as stressful. Honestly, I'm not saying anything because I'm not a chef, so I don't know. This game is really fun to play, especially even like with siblings. Sibling rivalry taken to a whole new level, but if you want to test your patience with your partner, give it a shot, but play at your own risk. The next game I'm going to be saying is again another story-based game, so if you like really long storyline games, this is a game for you. If you don't, it's okay, you could pass. So this game is called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. They actually remade this game with better quality, so if you want to check that out, go ahead, feel free. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews how people have said this game plays better solo first and then play it with someone. That is completely up to you. Sometimes playing co-op kind of opens things up for a little bit because it's not just one person making a decision, it's 2 people making one decision. So this game is very emotional, I've heard. This game is also single player or local co-op with a partner or a friend. I don't believe you could play this online because it's meant to be a co-op on the couch kind of game. So basically in this game, you guide 2 brothers on an epic journey of discovery, loss, adventure, and mystery. With their father suffering from a deadly illness, 2 brothers must bravely set out to find the water of life, the one cure that can save him. With no option for failure, the brothers must rely on each other using their individual skills to protect one another and overcome the obstacles ahead in this unforgiving journey. Honestly, the remake makes the art look just kiss immaculate. It looks so pretty. It looks like it's gonna tear my heart out and make me sob on the floor kind of game, but honestly, sometimes the best games are that way. You need a little bit of emotion in a game to really get you going. If you ever want to play a game on the couch with your partner and sob a bit at the end, this game might be for you. So now the next game is actually, it has a couple different versions. So the first one is called We Were Here, the second one is We Were Here Together, and the third one is We Were Here Forever. I actually think there's a couple more copies, but I see the first one is actually for free, so I'm curious if that's like a little demo. We Were Here Forever kind of looks very traumatizing, but this game is a game that's been on my wish list because it deals a lot with blindness communication. This game does require you both to own copies and to play on 2 separate consoles. It is not made for co-op on the couch split screen style because it relies on you to communicate with each other. It's a very challenging game where it requires you to communicate and say what's going on your screen because one person might be looking at something completely different than the other person. So peeking at each other's screen might actually make the game less fun because the answers are already there. I've seen a lot of people play the game and it looks wild that one person sees a whole turn of events while the other person sees like a field. Like, it's wild. So if you want to play a game that really challenges you two with your communication, this is very nice for the long distance couples and a great way to just communicate and get angry without seeing each other face to face where you want to punch each other. So obviously playful wise, but yeah, so basically We Were Here is about 2 people lost in a frozen wasteland and split up from your partner inside an abandoned castle. The only possession you have left is walkie-talkies with a familiar voice on the other end. Can the 2 of you find your way out in time? So you rely solely on communication. Even in the game, you just have walkie-talkies. It's definitely a way to challenge yourself as a couple. This game is on my list. It seems like so chaotic and so fun. I love it. Okay, so now this next game was one of my favorites as a solo. That's how it first came out. It was only solo, but they actually came out with an update where you can play with 2 people. And if you know what I'm talking about, the very goofy, chaotic creating game, the Untitled Goose game. So you can play solo or locally co-op via on the couch, sharing the screen, or via Steam Remote Play. And I think PlayStation also has a PlayStation Share. play, I think that's what it's called, but you can't play it online any other way. It has to be like the sharing remote play in order to play it that way. But this one is a fan favorite of mine. I could replay this game a million times. It's so funny. You basically play as a goose and you terrorize the world. And a better way to do it is with a partner. So you have to follow a checklist and collect all these things that require you to wreak havoc of the town. And your total mission is to make everyone in the town have a terrible day. And honestly, sometimes you need to get a little evil in the video games. This is my villain era to be a goose terrorizing the world. So get ready to cause chaos with this game, especially with 2 people. Imagine 2 geese, 2 goose, 2 geese. I know it's geese, but is it 2 goose or 2 geese running around causing chaos? There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the games that I chose. A lot of these games I've played and a lot of the games I want to play. I think sometimes it's good for Valentine's Day for you to just stay and enjoy each other's company with just playing a nice video game. You know, snuggle up, get the blankets, get the snacks, the drinks, just chill. Sometimes that's more romantic than going out and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, it is cheaper. So if you're having a romantic day on a budget, video games might be the day where you're at. If you would like to see more content like this, please hit the subscriber button below. And I think it glows now if I say that. So if it didn't glow, YouTube lied. And now I feel very misleading, but there's that. And also like this video. Each month I'm making a video quite like this about gaming and my vlogs, so stick around if you enjoy this kind of content. Comment down below what co-op games you would like to play from this. If there's a game you didn't know and now you're like, wow, this game looks really cool, let me know. If there's a game that I didn't list, let me know in the comments, because I would honestly love to add more games to my never-ending gaming list. I think everyone who's a gamer here understands the struggle of having a wish list longer than any list of games you've played, because they make so many new games every month where how can I ever catch up? There's too many great ones. But until next time, happy gaming, and also happy Valentine's Day, you little cuties, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! YMCA, you know I say it like YMCA. Do 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 do.